There's a moment after the storm. Not when the sun returns, but just before it does. That strange in-between where the world feels still and everything you once held on to is gone. It's quiet, uncomfortably quiet. And for the first time in a long time, you don't know what to do with the silence. You thought healing would feel like light, like laughter, like freedom. But instead it feels like emptiness. After years of chaos, fighting, running, trying, breaking, you finally stop. And the stillness hits you harder than the pain ever did. It's strange, isn't it? How peace can feel like loss. When you're used to surviving, calm doesn't feel safe. It feels foreign. It feels wrong. Because chaos was predictable. You knew what it felt like to hurt, to be disappointed, to pick yourself up again. But now, when nothing is falling apart, you don't know who you are. Happen. A message, a fight, a sudden shift, anything, but nothing comes. And that nothing is terrifying. You start to realize how much of your identity was built around pain, around trying to fix it, avoid it, understand it, escape it. And when it's finally gone, you're left with a question you don't know how to answer. Who am I without the chaos? You think of all the versions of yourself that existed only in survival. The one who smiled while falling apart. The one who stayed busy to avoid feeling. The one who loved people who never stayed. And slowly you start to realize you've been living your whole life in reaction to pain. Now there's no one left to fight, no one to save, no one to prove anything to, and that is when healing actually begins. Healing isn't a sunrise. It's not the song that plays when you finally move on. It's not the montage moment. It's the quiet, the slow days, the strange comfort of boredom, the moments that feel dull but safe. It's sitting in your room and realizing there's nothing left to fix. That's when it starts to feel heavy, because you finally have to face yourself, not as a project, but as a person. At first, you'll try to fill the silence. You'll scroll, you'll work, you'll find someone new to think about. You'll look for something to chase, because chasing is easier than sitting still. But eventually, you'll get tired, not exhausted, just done. And in that doneness, you'll start to feel something else. Something unfamiliar, but soft. Peace. Peace doesn't announce itself. It sneaks in through the smallest cracks. In a morning where you don't feel rushed. In a walk where you notice the air. In the way your heartbeat slows when you stop needing everything to be different. You might not recognize it at first. You'll think it's emptiness, but it's not. It's space. Space for you to exist without chaos defining you. But make no mistake, the quiet after chaos is not easy. You'll miss the noise. You'll miss the adrenaline. You'll miss the stories that once gave your pain meaning, because for so long you measured your aliveness by how much you felt, even if what you felt was pain. Now, peace feels numb, and you'll think you've lost yourself. But really, you're just meeting the part of you that was never allowed to rest. When you live in survival, stillness feels like death. But when you start healing, stillness becomes life. It's the space between old wounds and new beginnings. It's the first breath after years of holding it in. It's not loud. It's not dramatic. It's just there. Gentle. Quiet. Enough. You'll notice small things again. The way sunlight hits your wall. The sound of your own footsteps. The way your body no longer braces for pain. And that's when you realize healing was never supposed to feel exciting. It was supposed to feel safe. But safety feels strange when you've built your worth on struggle. So be patient with yourself. You're learning a new rhythm, a softer one. Sometimes you'll miss the chaos so much you'll think about going back. Not because you want the pain, but because you miss the certainty of it. Pain was clear. It told you who you were, what to fix, what to run from. Peace doesn't give you that. It just hands you yourself and says, "Here, this is you, without the noise." That's the hardest part, facing your own quiet, because it's there, in that silence, that you start to see all the things you never had time to feel before. Grief, loneliness, relief, all mixed together. It's messy and soft and sacred. That's what the quiet holds, the truth of everything you avoided when the world was loud. The quiet after chaos isn't the end of your story. It's the pause before something new begins. It's the soil after the fire, the air after the storm, the moment your heart stops racing because it finally knows it's safe to rest. You may not feel happy yet. You may not feel anything at all. That's okay, because peace isn't loud. It's not a burst of joy. It's a whisper. And sometimes whispers take time to understand. One day, you'll wake up and realize that you didn't think about the past, that the person you used to be feels like someone you can love from a distance. You'll drink your coffee slower. You'll stop waiting for the next storm. You'll notice that you breathe easier now. That's peace, not the kind you post about, the kind you quietly grow into. If you're in that quiet right now and it feels empty, don't rush to fill it. Don't turn it into another problem to solve. Let it stay quiet. Let it stretch. Because this silence is where you meet yourself again. The you that isn't surviving, isn't performing, isn't chasing, just being. You've lived through the storm. You've learned to survive. Now it's time to learn how to live, not through noise, not through chaos, but through calm. The quiet after chaos isn't the absence of life, it's the beginning of it. Thank you for being here, for staying, for listening, for letting the silence touch you. You're doing better than you think. Even if it's quiet now, especially because it's quiet now. That quiet is where you finally start to hear yourself again.